Something that has been on my mind for a while this month, especially after coming back from BronyCon earlier this month, has been the Brony fandom and the show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, because it's been a constant in my life for the past almost decade now. It was the catalyst to how I met a lot of the people and the friends that I have now, as well as what I'm doing now creating videos. I was already making videos before, but they didn't really have a focus, or a channel that I made just didn't have a focus every time I tried to make a channel. But then along came ponies, and then everything kind of changed for me. And with the last BronyCon happening and the show coming to an end very soon in like a couple months, it's had me thinking about it for a while. So I kind of just wanted to ramble on and reminisce a bit about the fandom and my experiences. When I first got into the show, I was in a very weird place because a lot of my friends from high school were sort of drifting apart. Or maybe that was just in my head and I was just sort of isolating myself a little bit. And even with the people that I talked to online, I wasn't really that close with them. So I think the show was something that I needed in that time. I was also just getting into anime at that time, so I was looking for cute things to watch. And one of the points that I like to bring up with Friendship is Magic is that the characters don't really look like horses that much. They just have those big eyes that just remind you of Powerpuff Girls, and they just look a lot better than the older designs of My Little Pony, the cartoon. Not to say that horses look ugly or anything, Lauren Faust just found a way to make them look a lot more appealing. And when I got into the show, I didn't know I was going to delve so deep into it. Because usually when I watch a cartoon, I'm like, it's a funny cartoon. But with this, I just found this community and started talking to people. And especially since the people that I talked to online at the time weren't really approving of it. And the thing is, that just made me even more curious. Then the videos that I tried to make at the time revolved around ponies a lot more, which was on my older channel, not this channel, where I did reviews of the episodes as it came out, and that was starting with Season 2. Because I got into the show around August of 2011, so it's been around 8 years now that I've been in the fandom. I remember soon after I finished binging the show, I looked up some fan content and came across some songs and stuff that sounded really good, like Pinkie Pie Swear's songs. After coming back from BronyCon earlier this month, I went back and listened to some of those, and it made me feel very nostalgic for that time. But I really didn't start gathering friends as part of that community until I started reaching out to other people. One place I would post would be Equestria forums, because forums were still a big thing around that time. During the early 2010s is sort of when social media really blew up. So forums is kind of old school nowadays. For most people, there are only just a few sites that you visit every day. You know, like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr at one point before they blew up. But I would post my reviews of the episodes on that forum, and then eventually I made a really big video in December of that year in 2011. And that video was called Why I Love My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and Why You Should Watch It. And it was the first video that really took off for me. I had a few videos before that did decent, but this one really took off. And by take off, I mean got 10,000 views within the first day or something. Which at the time, I didn't even have 100 subscribers, I think, and that was huge to me. At the time, I also looked up other videos that might be similar to the video that I was making, just so I wouldn't watch them before I finished the video I was working on, because I didn't want to copy anybody. And one video that showed up in the search was Saberspark's video of Ballad of the Brony. And I messaged him on YouTube, back when YouTube had that feature. I'm not sure if it does still or not. If it does, it's very hidden. And I messaged him about collaborating at some points, and then we talked on Skype and became instant friends. And then later on, I would meet Hirosashi through a Brony meetup, and then I'd meet Jaxblade through a podcast that both of us were invited to, and then eventually we all met up at cons, and the first big one we met up at was BronyCon 2012, that summer. And there were a lot more people that I met before and after that I met at that convention. And then we would go to many other conventions together. And now we're sort of making MomoCon our new, main convention that we meet up at. And MomoCon has sort of become the hub for the cartoon YouTubers. But back to the show of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, I still love it. At no point did I really fall off of the show. I would always keep up with the episodes. There may have been a season that I wasn't too crazy about, like Season 6, but I would always look forward to watching the new Pony episode every Saturday, even if I wasn't making content about it. And seeing the explosive growth in the beginning, and then the peak of the fandom around 2014 or 15, I think, because 2015 is when BronyCon hit its biggest number other than the last convention, because that one topped that. Bronies also sort of took over the internet for a bit, where you couldn't go anywhere without seeing a pony thing. But then they sort of calmed down after a while, so now it's, like, chill, I guess. There's also the whole, like, anti-brony thing, which that's even more cringy. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this video. Like I said in the beginning, I just sort of wanted to ramble and reminisce about the fandom and the show. I've met pretty much all of my friend group because of ponies. Whether directly or indirectly, ponies caused it. And the thing is, the show is still good. Like I said, Season 6 is kinda but everything else is pretty stellar. There may be a few episodes that are stinkers here and there, but overall, it's pretty enjoyable. And with where the last season has been going, I'm hoping that it's going to have a really great ending. I'm gonna be sad to see it go and not look forward to a new Pony episode every Saturday anymore, but there's also going to be the next generation of My Little Pony from Hasbro, which we'll see what that's gonna bring. It's like any other ongoing franchise, they just keep reiterating it. But Friendship is Magic made something special with it. No one expected it, I didn't expect it, my friends didn't expect it, but we're glad it happened. Because without it, I don't know what my life would be like. There might have been another cartoon that came along to make this change in my life, but I don't think so. So I'm thankful for the show. If you've stuck with me since the beginning of my pony days back in 2011, then thanks for sticking with me for this long. And if you're new and you've never really gave the show a chance, then give it a chance. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, that's okay. I was just feeling very nostalgic after the last BronyCon, so I wanted to ramble on for a bit. So if you have been a brony for a while, or a legacy brony, as I like to say, where you have watched the show within the first year of it airing, so from October 10th, 2010 to October 10th, 2011, let me know if you're a legacy brony. And if you watched the first generation back in the 80s, then you're old. I saw a lot of people commenting that on my legacy brony post on Twitter, so I just wanted to say, you're old. You've revealed your age when you say that you've watched the original. I would give that a different name though, like Original Brony. So if you are a fan of the show, or you have participated in the community some way, let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to save.